Welcome everyone! Today we're diving deep into the world of Scrum, specifically the role of the product owner and how they drive product success.
I'm really excited about this. What really stands out about the product owner's role?
Well, the product owner is essentially the mini CEO of the Scrum team. They're responsible for setting priorities, managing the product backlog, and determining which features and functionalities get built next.
Yeah.
It's all about ensuring there's a clear vision for the sprint goals and the overall product direction.
So it's like they're the core decision maker, right?
Exactly. And they're the single point of accountability. They work hand in hand with customers, users, and stakeholders to translate needs into prioritized backlog items.
Yep.
By doing this, they manage what features deliver the maximum return on investment while harmonizing stakeholder expectations.
It sounds like there's a lot of balancing going on, especially with trade-offs between scope, budget, and time.
Absolutely. They have to constantly assess the economic impact of each decision. For instance, if a new feature promises to boost sales, they might decide to shrug off extra time or cost for the benefit of releasing something game-changing.
Right.
They're monitoring sprint progress to ensure that overall release goals are met, and sometimes they even have to cancel sprints if things aren't working out.
Cancel sprints? That sounds drastic. Is that common?
Not exactly common, but it's within their authority to re-strategize. Think of it like this. If the team's steering off course too early, sometimes you have to hit the brakes to realign the journey. And while that might seem harsh, it ensures the end product remains robust and true to the vision.
That's interesting. So beyond managing the backlog, what are some of the critical activities for the product owner?
Great question. They participate in several planning meetings: portfolio planning, product planning, release planning, and sprint planning. These sessions are crucial for aligning priorities and vision with stakeholders and the Scrum team. You could say they're the glue that binds strategic planning to execution.
So they're pivotal during planning too, huh?
Exactly. They're always in the thick of it. And part of that involves product backlog grooming, refining, estimating, and prioritizing backlog items. They make sure each story has proper acceptance criteria, both functional and non-functional, before the sprint begins.
Yep.
It's kind of like setting up a clear roadmap before a long journey.
Speaking of acceptance criteria, do they verify that the developed feature meets these conditions?
They sure do. Once a sprint wraps up, the product owner reviews the work, checking it against the acceptance criteria. If everything lines up, the story is accepted as done. If not, they suggest modifications. It's a continuous loop of feedback, ensuring quality and alignment with the overall vision.
That sounds like a lot of pressure. They really are accountable for the final product.
Exactly. And that's where their characteristics and skills come into play. They need strong domain skills, say in banking if you're in the financial sector, to understand both the industry and the product's competitive landscape. You can't really navigate a bank's product without having a deep understanding of banking operations and regulatory nuances.
I get that. But isn't there also a big emphasis on people skills?
Yes, people skills are critical. They must build consensus among diverse stakeholder groups, negotiate conflicting demands, and essentially keep everyone on the same strategic page. It requires clear communication and, frankly, a good dose of empathy.
But isn't that a bit idealistic? I mean, not every product owner is going to be a master negotiator or have deep domain expertise, right?
That's a fair point. While those skills are ideal, there can be gaps. However, good organizations typically support their product owners with teams of business analysts or subject matter experts to shore up any weak areas.
True.
It's all about compensating with the right support structure.
And what about decision making? I imagine they have to make some pretty tough calls.
Oh, indeed. Decision making, especially in balancing time, cost, and scope, is at the heart of their role. They have to be decisive, knowing when to push forward with a feature or when to hold back if it's not worth the risk.
Yeah, exactly.
This decisiveness, paired with their accountability, means that the product owner really shoulders the product's overall success or failure.
That kind of accountability must be pretty daunting.
It is. And that's why being available and committed to the Scrum team is so important. They need to guide the team continuously and ensure that, even if they plan for a break, there are measures in place, like refined stories for upcoming sprints, to keep the momentum going.
How do things work when there are multiple Scrum teams? Can one product owner support them all?
It depends. Ideally, one product owner should focus on a single Scrum team, especially when teams work on entirely distinct features. However, if there are multiple teams working on the same product, it's acceptable to have one product owner with a small team of business analysts to support them. But having multiple product owners on the same team can definitely lead to conflicts and a lack of clear guidance.
So consistency is key. But then what happens if the product owner is unavailable during a sprint? How does that impact the team?
That's a vital point. In such cases, the Scrum Master or senior development team members can step in for immediate clarifications.
Right.
As best practice, the backlog should be well groomed for not just one sprint, but ideally for two, so that the team isn't left hanging if the product owner has an unplanned absence.
That proactive approach must really help in keeping the development flow steady.
Absolutely. It minimizes delays and uncertainty. The product owner's role, while loaded with responsibility and accountability, becomes even more effective when there's a plan B, like a supportive BA team, to cover sudden gaps.
It sounds like, overall, the product owner is the central hub for product vision, decision-making, and prioritizing work.
Exactly. Exactly. They pull together the economic, strategic, and people-oriented aspects of the product. It's like they're steering a ship, navigating between turbulent stakeholder waters and ensuring the crew, that is the Scrum team, stays on course.
Yep, I love that analogy. Steering a ship makes it so relatable. But what about when strategies change? How flexible does the product owner need to be?
Flexibility is critical. They must constantly reassess priorities. If a feature turns out to be more complex than estimated, they're the ones deciding whether to descope, reprioritize, or even rework parts of the product backlog. It's a dynamic process, mirroring the Agile iterative cycle.
And that ties back into Agile principles like responding to change over following a fixed plan.
Exactly. The Agile mindset embraces change. The product owner embodies that by continuously collaborating with internal and external stakeholders. Their role evolves as product needs change, and they must be both visionary and pragmatic simultaneously.
Yep. So, if I were to sum up, the product owner isn't just ticking off tasks on a list. They're ensuring every decision moves the product in the right direction, financially and strategically.
Spot on. They are the communicator, the decision maker, and the accountable leader who makes sure that the product delivers on its promise. They balance technical realities with strategic vision, and that balance is what makes Agile successful.
I really appreciate how, despite the complex responsibilities, the product owner role is structured to adapt to challenges while steering the team. It's like a master conductor of a complex orchestra.
Precisely. And even though it can seem overwhelming, the right support and a clear, agile mindset make everything click together. It's all about communication, prioritization, and a relentless focus on customer value.
Right. Thanks for this in-depth discussion. It's really enlightening, and it shows that while the product owner carries a lot of weight, they're also the key to unlocking the full potential of Agile teams.